All right, everyone. Welcome to our week 7 after school review on modules 3.1 to 3.4. I've asked the class, this is going to be a quick one. We're going to start covering stuff right away, and we're going to start with question number 11. Oh, man, I love it when I get to scroll through a bunch of these. All right. So the first one is a firm is earning, let me flip to the right page here, normal profit. Remember, normal profit is the same as zero economic profit, which is the same as breaking even. So economic profit, zero. Zero economic profit, break even, normal profits, synonyms. All the same thing, nothing more than the definition part of that. Sound good? All right, we get to skip ahead now to, where's the next one? 18. All right, so 18 says, as defined in the text, the long run is a planning period, which firm can adjust all resources. Yeah, there's at least 5 years, 6 months, time, and too short to change. No, long run is when you can change all your resources. Therefore, all your costs are variable. There are no fixed costs. Like everything is now up for grabs. Is that good enough?
Isn't it like you can only change one variable at a time with the long run?
Oh, in the long run, I could change any of my variables. Now, my output costs, my production function, yes, that would be like labor is only changing, everything else constant. But that's more of like a situation or what this curve shows, not what is the definition of long run. Everything's variable. I could change the number of workers or the amount of land or capital, change factories, move here, do that, do this.
So in a short run, you can't do any of that?
No, in the short run, at least one cost is fixed. Fixed costs exist. So that means at least one thing I can't change. I have to wait a certain amount of time before I'm able to. Make sense?
Why is it fixed?
Like rent, I have a contract. I can't change the contract. Or it'd be just prohibitively expensive to like change.
Yeah.
Make
So you
sense?
have like more like space to do things in the long
Right.
run.
So in the short run, at least one thing I can't change. In the long run, everything is fully flexible. So I can adjust all resources. Make sense? Okay, 21. All right. Ooh, this is a good one. Buford Bus Manufacturer installed new assembly line. The result, the output produced per workers increases. What did they install?
They installed
New assembly line. That's mean they added what?
capital.
Capital. Okay. So the marginal cost should do what? Well, what would that do to our marginal product?
It's gonna increase.
And therefore, the marginal cost must.
Decrease.
So we'll decrease marginal cost curve. Shift it downward. Did that. Questions? All right.
Wait, it adds what? What does it add?
Installs a new assembly line.
Okay,
That is an example of adding more capital,
okay.
which would make every worker more productive. So therefore, the cost of one more unit would be lower.
Okay.
Marginal cost falls.
Yeah, more productivity, so more efficiency.
But you don't even need to know that, right? 'Cause if you just read the other part, it just kind of tells you.
Yeah, I kind of, but just explain it.
Okay.
So anything that helps the workers be more effective is considered capital? So anything that doesn't?
No. Man-made machines used to produce other goods and services called capital. Not anything that helps them, because land would do that, technology would, human capital would even do that. Make sense? So capital is just man-made goods used to produce other goods and services, like an assembly line. That's a man-made good used to produce goods and services. Make sense? All right, we're skipping along to 27. I hope you guys are finding these easy. Okay. And those. Ooh, and that one. But we're here. Okay, cool. At 3 units output, the total cost is approximately. Okay, at 3 units output, total cost. Keep in mind, what does it not say?
Average total cost.
Average total cost. But what do you need to solve total cost?
Average total cost.
Okay.
minus quantity.
So at the 3rd unit, we go 3 and we go up to up. There's ATC. It's about 200. So we know total cost is price.
Times quantity.
Yeah, or like total cost. Or total cost is like
Average total cost times.
average total cost times the quantity. Or total cost divided by the quantity is how you get average total cost. So if average total cost is total cost divided by quantity, total cost is quantity times average total cost. So 3 times 200 is, or just under 300, well, it says approximately 600.
When we look at a curve like that, do we need to identify what those three are?
Yeah, you have to know. There's no way you could answer this if you didn't know curve 2 is an ATC curve. Curve 3 is a
Is a average ABC.
average variable cost. Curve 1 is,
Marginal cost?
Yeah. so you're going to have to know those. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So there you go.
Can you go over 33?
Yeah, that's on the list.
Okay.
Okay. So let's do 31. All right. Long run average total cost curve. So economies and discounted scale are in play. Output per period in the region from 0 to A. During 0 to A, what is ATC curve doing?
It's
Decreasing
Decreasing. So we'd be experiencing what?
scales of economies.
economy of scale.
Economies of scale. Yeah. So economies of scale.
When it's in the long run, we don't say it is like constant or decreasing returns to scale.
A to B is constant returns. Well, you'd still kind of call it that. We'd call this constant returns to scale, constant economy. No, you'd never call that constant returns to scale. And that would be diseconomies of scale, B to C.
Would it be different if you were in the short run?
You
They
can
don't
have
exist.
economies or diseconomies of scale in the short run.
So, economies of scale and increasing return to scale means the same thing.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
One is preferably in the short run. The economy of scale is long run.
So then are we gonna have graphs like that, but like for the short run?
Short run ones are different.
Oh, yeah.
So, but downward sloping, increasing, upward
Oh,
sloping,
right.
cost is decreasing.
Okay.
Or diminishing.
What does constant returns to scale mean? Or is that like
A to B, flat.
Okay.
Or the lowest point, because the lowest point slope is
It's just like-
0.
Yeah.
It's like flat.
Alright.
You guys get the idea?
Mhm.
So they spread this one out so you can kind of like call it flat.
So would decreasing returns to scale be linearly decreasing instead
Nope.
of exponentially?
It would,
Yes.
cost would be increasing.
How's it different from diseconomies of scale?
It is the same.
Long run versus short run. Okay, you guys good? 33 then. If Jakob, ooh, interesting. Okay, if Jakob knows the marginal cost of the first sports jersey is 21, the marginal cost of the second sports jersey is 19, the marginal cost of the third sports jersey is 17. What's our marginal cost doing as we have more output?
It's decreasing.
So we're on that downward sloping part, which means in our production function, we know that
It has economies of scale.
not economies of scale, no.
It's increasing.
Increasing return scale or increasing marginal product. You guys got that?
Can you explain the difference between increasing returns to scale and then economies of scale?
Long run, short run. ATC curve. Returns to scale is as I grow, I get more back than what I put in.
Returns to scale short term?
Short run, yeah. All right. So the total variable cost of producing 3 jerseys. Ooh, okay. Oh, you're just adding them up, right?
Not quite, no. I do like a
3
little
jerseys.
table for it where I add like
40,
marginal cost on one side.
57.
and
What's the right answer here?
It said 57.
Yeah, you add them all up. All of the marginal costs are the changes in variable costs. Variable goes from 0 to a number, or 0 to 21. And then it would go from 21 to 40. And then you would go 40 to 57 for 3 units. Because the change in variable costs, or total variable cost, is your marginal cost.
So the total variable cost is the sum of all the marginal costs.
In this one, since we started 1, 2, and 3.
So that won't always be the case.
There's ways it won't. But in this case, they gave you no other information, so it's like. All right, you guys good there? So, all right, let's move on. All right, 35. If firm produces 10 units of output and incurs a $35 in average total cost, At a $5 average fixed cost, the variable cost is 30. Average total cost is average fixed plus average variable. So, any questions? Okay. And okay, I can skip all the way to 44, but just because I know there's plenty of people who are going to want to ask, oh, know how to do that. This one. All right, this one's tricky because the numbers are the same, and like I wish they didn't do that, but here we are. So, guys, accountants do what kind of profit?
Accounting profit.
Economists do what kind of profit?
Economy.
Economic profit. You guys got the idea? Implicit or explicit cost versus explicit and implicit cost. What's going to almost always has to be higher? Your accounting profit or your economic profit?
Economic profit.
You guys got it? And what's the formula for economic profit? Or let's do what's the formula for accounting profit?
Revenue, total revenue minus explicit cost.
Total revenue minus explicit cost. Okay, what's your economic profit formula?
Total revenue minus
Explicit and minus implicit cost. So we know that she has $43,002 of accounting profit, but she has $43,002 in economic loss. Guys, how can you have a full $43,002 swing?
By losing double the amount you made.
Right. So you must, that formula, total revenue minus implicit cost, or explicit cost, which is whatever number, but your implicit cost needs to be $86,000, $86,004.
Can you explain why it's implicit?
Yeah, because he's an economist. Do you know what implicit costs are?
No.
Opportunity costs. Economists care about that. Accountants don't.
So because he's an economist, it's implicit?
Good. Explicit and explicit. So what it means is, if I give you made $100, okay? Your explicit cost is like $60. What did you walk away with?
40.
Okay? But if I told you, no, you actually lost $40 in economic profit, then there has to be a cost of $80 that we're not taking into account, right? Because economic profit is total revenue minus explicit costs. We'd still subtract 60, but did we have to also minus a number that gives us negative 40?
Yeah.
It makes sense?
Kind of.
So minus 60 minus 80. There are a lot of ways to do this, so I'll try. So if your total revenue is $100, okay, and your explicit cost is $60, make sense?
Yeah.
That would make your accounting profit 40, okay? And you're like, yeah, I made $40, I'm awesome, but you're not, because the economist comes in and goes, actually, your economic profit is negative 40. What's screwing you here, you know what, I'm gonna change it. The problem is they're using the same number and that's confusing. Let's say I say, no, you actually lost $30. Because somehow that makes it easier, but like it shouldn't, okay? How can you lose $30 if you made 40? Well, how do we calculate economic profit?
It's total revenue.
Total revenue minus explicit cost. So we're gonna go 100 and we're gonna go minus 60. And we're gonna have to subtract X, or I could put plus because we're gonna make them both negative. Make sense?
Yes.
So if that needs to equal negative 30, what does X have to be?
X has to be greater.
Well, it has to be what number specifically?
Has to be like 130.
70.
It has to be 70.
Because 60 plus 70 is 130.
So I see we're getting 130, you're right, but that
Good
means
afternoon,
this must be
teachers. Hope you had a
130.
great day. There are a
Okay,
few
right.
teachers who
So
did not
60
take attendance
plus
for
what?
one or more periods today.
70
Please
equals,
double check
negative
for the
130,
last
so it's
3
negative.
days.
Now,
For 3
they
days
actually
to
said the answer is
enter that attendance. So if there were any periods
an
that you did
equal
not enter
amount.
over the
No,
last
it's
3 days, please
unsolvable
go
now.
in,
What
make sure
is
that
X
you
now?
hit the
Oh,
save
now it's, 80.
and or submit button.
Makes
for
sense?
attendance each period.
So it's a
Thank
full
you.
swing, and that's what this question is.
Okay.
If I change this to like 13,002, it's somehow a much easier question. Because you're like, why did the positive become negative? It's like, no, they just added the double amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in question 38, it's just like, depreciation of property is also an explicit cost.
Depreciation is an explicit cost. By rule, that's kind of what you need to know about it. Depreciation is as things you own get older, they lose value. That amount of value they've lost is depreciation. Like your car. What happens to your car every year? Your resale value falls, depreciation.
So the assumption with the accountant is that he's already taken into account this explicit cost.
Yeah, he's an accountant. Of course he would. Yeah, it's like a play on words. And it's like, but how do we know the economist is doing it? Like, we know. How do you know the accountant is? We know because it's testing a concept, not like storytelling time. What's this intrinsic motivation? Like, nope, we're not doing that. It's like they're trying to make it simple, believe it or not. Okay, ready? 44. Oh, that's our last one. That is fantastic. Okay, and we scroll. There it went. All right. Oh, we did this today. Should be a piece of cake. TP1, TP2. What would cause us to go from TP1 to TP2? 4 options. You could add more land.
Yeah, more labor.
You could not add more labor because labor's already there because it's already a function of that.
Technological advancement.
Yeah, it's like the go-to would be capital, land, but you could also use human capital or technology. You guys got it? I mean, labor would work if it wasn't a function of labor. Okay, so it shows what? Workers in the firm are less productive. No, they're more productive. The firm employed more of a variable input in the short run. Yes, but that's labor. The firm suffered a decrease in available technology. No, it would be an increase. Firm employed more of a fixed input in the long run. Oh, yeah, that's it. The price of employing the variable input increase. That's not it. It's delta, right?
It's D, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they put more of it. So they added more capital. They got twice as many machines. Well, what can you do? What can every worker do now if they have more tools to build stuff?
Make the work better.
Build more.
This is the employee more with fixed input in the long.
Correct.
Why would it not be D?
Because the variable input is workers. And that means we're just going along the curve.
Like, isn't the whole point of the long run that you don't really fixed input?
Yeah, and that's why they said they changed it. That agrees with what you're saying.
Okay. Oh, so
It
they
was
changed from-
fixed.
They changed from long run to short run?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But from short run to long run. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that good? Any other questions?
Can you go over how to draw the graphs? Because you said.
What
earlier-
graphs?
Like, you said, like, whenever we're, like, drawing graphs, you have to shift something. Instead of shifting horizontally, you have to shift it vertically.
Yeah, just like this.
That's the average.
Well, why can't you shift?
Cost curves go up and down. So ADC, ABC, all that. Like marginal costs can't shift left and right. We'll get to there later. But if things are increasing your costs have increased, they go up. If things are decreasing your costs, they go down.
So they can't go more flat.
They won't very often. They can, and that's more complicated to have a flat shift. So, all good? Okay, well, good luck on the quiz, guys. I'll see you later.